Hello. We are here today. It is Tuesday, August 16th, 9:30 at the morning. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. We're gonna have a great show. We'll talk about the Chicago Bulls. We'll talk about the Atlanta Hawks. We'll talk about some trades that the Washington Wizards can make today. We'll also talk about life. We'll talk about baby Jazz who just got ready. My little dog, if you guys are watching. I don't think you could have seen her, but man, oh man, she's now comfy. She's ready for the show. I'm ready for the show. And I just got a text message. I got like messages coming everywhere. I got my semester starting on Monday. Well, I only have class 3 days a week. Senior baby. But I only have class on Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Thursday. I have two classes. I'm literally only have school from 9:30 to 12:30 on Tuesdays and Thursday, and then class from like 12:30 to like 2:30 on Wednesdays. And then I think it take one or two online. And one of my in-person classes is me acting. Yeah, acting for the camera. The boy's an actor. Just kidding, I'm not. But actually, I can act. I can act. I find acting quite enjoyable. Now we're over here with Jackson. He's joined us. Hey, how are you doing this morning?
So,
Not much. Just looking at the books, illegally downloading the PDFs of books for $50.
you're for school.
Yeah, like they charge you, but I know how to get any book for free, so I'm just downloading the PDFs of like all the books I need.
Classic.
Yeah. And then tell my mom I need like the money from my loan, but then I just keep the $250 for myself.
That's always
Because
the
like
worst part.
yeah, my mom controls my loan, so like even though the loan's under my name and I'm paying it back, I don't trust myself with all that money. So I like send it to my mom's account. So I have to I have to basically argue my part on why I deserve that money.
Hmm.
Which is like fine. I would have blown through it if it wasn't like that, you know? Like
Uh,
how'd
I'm
you sleep?
gonna. How did I sleep? Damn, it's dead, isn't it? I slept pretty good. How about you?
Okay, what were you gonna say?
I'm putting this out on all of my basketball channels. Like I'm posting it and saying we live. Come chill, babes.
Come chill, babes. I'll put this out on mine. I honestly am very stoked to see the numbers on next Monday.
Oh yeah, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. guys, by the way, if you guys aren't know, we're switching to 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. Eastern. My god damn it. I don't know time.
3 p.m. Eastern or Pacific?
Pacific, yeah. What'd I say?
Eastern, I think.
Yeah, yeah. 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific. Fuck them. All right. So today we'll talk about the Hawks, the Bulls, and some Wizards, but we'll start off. I don't give a fuck about this game, the schedules. Why does the NBA treat their schedule release so big? You have 82 games. Everyone's going to play each other twice or three times or four times. I don't give a fuck when you play each other.
Yeah, I think it's I. No, I agree with you, but like I love seeing Christmas.
Oh, no, no. Christmas, 100%. Christmas is fine. But that's it. I don't
I
need to
kind of
know who's opening every single game of the season. Like when Rudy Gobert will be back. They release the goddamn schedule and let me figure this out on my own.
maybe it's because you don't like have like a specific direct team,
I do have a specific direct team. You fucking asshole.
and that would be
The T Wolves, Magic, and Wiz. Okay,
so
those three teams, three
three
specific
unspecific
teams.
undirect teams.
Yes, they're all specific. And they all share my heart very much. Okay, I'll admit I don't live near right now. I think the nearest NBA team is either the Nuggets or the Bulls. In either direction, it's 8 hours.
So when you watch the Bucks are pretty close. When you watch,
Aren't the Bucks like 2 hours away from you?
yeah, I could
Like
go to a Bucks
Milwaukee?
game.
Yeah, isn't
Milwaukee's like an hour
Milwaukee
and a
like?
half.
Yeah, it's literally straight up.
I think from where I live now, it's 2 hours because my mom moved over.
You're in Naperville, right?
Yeah.
Where did you go? Naperville North or Naperville Central?
I used to live in Arlington Heights, so I.
Oh,
I'm
you
surprised
never.
you know those two names.
My. Yo, yeah, how the fuck do you know this? No, my sister. I moved my sister in at Mizzou this weekend, and her roommate is from Naperville North.
Wow, that's unreal.
Mhm.
Where did she go to school?
Naperville North.
No, where?
Oh,
what college?
Mizzou.
Oh, is it? Yeah, my old school got a ton of Mizzouians. Small
Mizzou
world.
is a popular school in the Midwest.
Yeah, very.
I bet because it's the
Yeah.
Midwest SEC school.
I really wanted to go to Mizzou, and I fucked up by not transferring. If I got into Mizzou, I'm 100% going to Mizzou.
You got in or no?
I would have gotten in, and I would imagine it's not hard, is it? It's like Iowa, isn't it? Like Iowa?
I don't know. Is Iowa hard? I thought Iowa was a good school. I thought Iowa State was.
I know some real idiots who got into Iowa.
I really don't know. My little sister, I think they're easy, but my little sister's like a genius, and they gave her like a full ride for her academics.
Mizzou?
Yeah,
They're like, you want to go to Mizzou?
Yeah, literally. And they're like, here's the Mark Twain second level scholarship. This is $40,000 a year. Yeah, they gave her $40,000 a year. She's only gonna have, after 4 years of college, because she's gonna join a sorority, I think she's only gonna have $10,000 of debt.
She might cut a profit.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's funny. They're like, you have the brain cells and you want to go here? Here's $40,000.
Yeah, because she could have gone to like High Point or like a bunch of other like. It's like a bunch of like popular private schools with really good academics. But like she's rushing right now, and she's like, is philanthropy a big part of making up your decision for a house? I was like, yeah, philanthropy does not matter. Like I don't even.
You can rush this fat. You can rush like, is this welcome week at Mizzou then?
Yeah, it's a rush week.
Dude, I wish I was in college. But anyways,
become a grad student.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could rush.
You get another major
freshman year. Yeah, right. I could
you
go finish out my theology degree.
You have a theology
I was like
degree?
2 classes away. Classes away.
You have a marketing, right?
From a minor.
Your minor is marketing?
My major is advertising. My minor was theology, and I was 2 classes away. And
you're in theology. What the fuck is theology?
Gosh, yeah, right. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Aren't you smart if you got into Loyola Chicago?
Am I smart? I finished with like a 2.7.
But that could be a lack of trying.
That's true. I don't consider myself good in school.
My first semester, I went from 1.73 when I was rushing a fraternity to now I have like a 3.6 or a 3.5. Like school's easy, bro.
How'd you rush first semester? How did you do that?
Are you not? Is your school not a rush first semester?
No, we had to do like a whole semester at least. I know that for sure.
Yeah, no, ours is first semester. I was already living in the house while rushing with my pit bull. I had my own bedroom. I lived in a fraternity house with a pit bull.
Jeez.
Yeah, isn't that lit? I didn't live in a dorm. I didn't want to live in a dorm. I was 20 years old, and I had a pit bull. I suicide rushed the fraternity that I'm in. I didn't talk to any other ones, which might have been regrettable, but it was just a good deal. I made my friends for life. I was able to live there with my dog. I got fed. Also, COVID hit, and I actually lived in a fraternity house by myself for like 8 weeks. Like no one else. It was honestly terrifying. I stayed in one. Yeah, like I stayed in one hallway. I closed off all the doors in this hallway, and I literally lived in this hallway that led to my door. Because so, like, imagine the hallway is like an L shape. You could go outside this way, or you could go in more into the house. But at each end, there was a door that closed off you from like the outside and from the rest of the house. And there was a bathroom in that hallway, and my bedroom is in that hallway. So all I needed was to walk in that hallway to go to the bathroom. So I literally locked both the doors, closed myself off from the rest of the house, and would only go out the outdoor to go get food or go play basketball for 3 hours every day. And then that's how I got into it. I used to just spend every single day from March 21st to like July 21st of 2020. I would just go outside and play basketball or work out for 3 to 4 hours with my dog tied to a tree.
What about your videos?
My videos, that's when I started doing YouTube again. And I would wake up early, pump out 10 prospect videos, and then go outside and I'd be done.
Huh.
I didn't know how to do YouTube at that time, so I was just making videos about prospects.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Your place was probably haunted.
I don't know. It was cool. It was weird though, man. No one was around. I was eating SpaghettiOs every day.
What SpaghettiOs are you doing?
SpaghettiOs slap. Okay, either way, let's get into this. I want to talk about the Washington Wizards. I also like have something on my nose that I've been picking at this whole time, and I just don't know what it is, and it's like incredibly bothering me. I also do not want to go to the gym today, but I've gone every day for the past like week, but I don't want to go, but I should go, but it's like storming out.
I hate storm days. I think ours. Oh no, the weekend. I don't want to either. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time. Come on.
How many days a week are you supposed to take off from the gym?
Well, the dorks tell you like 3.
Wyatt, I feel like 2's already pushing it.
I don't like taking any days off.
Nor do I.
I think that.
But then they'll tell you that's unhealthy.
I can even tell when what's up, Chris? I can even tell when I don't work out for a week. I can already tell by a week.
I can tell by 3 days.
Shit. Yeah, so I don't.
I don't subscribe to the idea of like I honestly am like 1 day at max. I'll give myself a 1 day break, and then the following day I'll go harder. I'm just really sore today. I'm like just honestly, I think I'm just gonna go in my living room, knock out 100 push-ups, 100 crunches, and 100 sit-ups, and then call it that. I feel like that's good. Yeah. That way I won't feel like a shit. I wanted to go hit the machines, work on these puppies. Still small as hell. I feel like there's a little growth. No, I play basketball every day. I would play basketball. It's just that
you're going to the gym regardless.
What? No,
so
I'm not
going
playing
to the gym regardless.
No, I'm not playing basketball today. That's why when I say work out, it means basketball and working out.
It's 9:43. You already fucked yourself in the ass.
Okay, I play basketball for like 2 to 3 hours every fucking day. Okay, I've played.
Yeah, but not today.
I played. Today I wasn't gonna play because yesterday, I worked out and played by myself, and then the day before I played 2.5, almost 3 hours of full court basketball. Suck my fucking dick.
I need an off day.
Right now I'm gonna go. Honestly, I'll go if someone hits me up that they want to go as a group,
Well, I'd love to have that right now. Fuck. You guys trying to hit the gym? Yeah, dude. What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to go to the rec because yesterday I played by myself, and it was kind of like I always play by myself, but because everyone's coming back, I'm enjoying playing with people, and I don't want to go and just play. You know what I'm saying?
It's all busy and shit.
It's starting to, yeah. Everybody's moving in this week. It's kind of annoying. I want to like punch all these. I fucking hate when people are here. It takes me now long to get food. It takes me long to go places. Like there used to be no lines at the drive-thrus. Now there's a fucking line at every goddamn drive-thru. Okay, and then nicotine is going to become annoying. And then everyone thinks they're cool, but nobody's cool. Like, I'm the only cool person on campus. Everybody else fucking sucks. Okay. Like, people think they're the shit. They got their new shoes. What are you in the 9th grade? Your mom bought you a new pair of Vans and socks. You're going to wear them on the first day of school. Cool, bud. Okay. Like, I roll up here 8 dabs deep walking to class, and I still got a better GPA than you. And you probably have to try harder.
It is crazy the difference in vibe between a freshman or even like a sophomore or even a junior and like a 23-year-old dude. like I definitely felt that vibe last semester. Like, yeah.
I'm like a grown man. Yeah. like sometimes I'll say stuff and like I talk very like how I talk to you is how I talk to my professors. I will say ridiculous stuff in class. And I think like people are just like, oh, he's just like somewhat foreign. And like I'll say some stuff and I'll be like
it's just some foreign fuck.
Literally, like I'll drop a few like, you know, my school's pretty liberal, so I'll say questionable stuff, like nothing like derogatory or anything, but I'll be like, that's fucking stupid, straight up. Like if somebody said something, I was like, that is like so dumb. Like one time, one girl was like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna name my kid until he's like he or they are like 8." So I was like, I literally, as she finished that sentence, I was like, "So you're just gonna call your child it for 8 fucking years? It? Hey, it, come here, it. Oh, that's it. That's it." And this girl got up and ran out the room, and I think she was crying. I was just making fun of her, and then my teacher was telling me, "I can't do that." I was like, no, you can't tell me not to do that because when people say stupid shit, I will react to it.
There's some girl out because I went to Loyola and like
it was libtard.
Dude, is progressive the right word?
Yeah, libtards.
Like it's just
that's
like,
how my school is.
Like,
my school,
everybody had different colored hair. All the girls were like annoying feminists, and all the guys were either gay or like
kids are allowed to choose their gender like at 8 years old.
It's so stupid.
I didn't even know I had a dick at 8.
This world is like it's crazy because we're not like I know we're like a little bit older than this underclassmen, but like we're not that much older, and it's crazy like the difference. And I noticed that with my cousins.
They're puppets. All these other kids,
but like they've
puppets.
had such a different childhood than us, dude. Like I remember,
they've had technology their whole they've had technology their whole childhood. We didn't have technology until we were like 5 or 6, really, like in the sense that like we did obviously have technology, but like I'm talking like cell phones, computers, and shit. Those kids since out the womb they've basically had a computer in their hand.
I didn't even use computers really till college. High school a little bit.
My dad's a computer
I remember
nerd.
getting if you got a book report for the summer in 7th grade back then, it was like fuck, I have to read this now. And back nowadays, it's like cool, schmoop. Like
it's just so different. Reading. The only people who read, I read all the time. I love reading, but the only people that I see out with a book, unless you're on vacation and you're reading a book, cool. Okay, fuck you if you're just going around reading a goddamn book. I'm just kidding, but fuck reading.
One time I was at Barnes & Noble and I bought like a stack of books.
I was at Books A Million.
I had like 2 girls come up to me. Like, oh, you're
really?
There.
Just like my dick in a book.
Got some Dostoevsky, just some light Russian literature. It's like 700 pages, whatever. What about you, babe?
What about you, babe?
Mocha Grande. Yeah.
I got Malcolm X's autobiography here. He turned a perfectly sober Christian woman into a drug addict and then never saw her for another 10 years. And when he saw her again, she was sucking dick for crack. True story.
What?
Malcolm X.
Is that a big joke?
No. Have you never read Malcolm X's autobiography? I've read it twice in the 4th grade and like in high school.
The 4th grade?
Yeah, my dad made me read it because... Well, my dad made me read the autobiography of Malcolm X in the 4th grade because I used to be embarrassed that my parents spoke Spanish and other languages. And my dad told me I should never be embarrassed or care for the racism I'll face because it's nothing like the racism that Black people in America had faced. So my dad got me a copy of Malcolm X to understand the type of racism Black people like faced. And like Malcolm X's dad was was beat to death, and then they put his head on a railroad track and ran over it. And then Malcolm X used to sell drugs. Like he used to sell weed. He was a hustler, and he started dating this like beautiful chick. And he took her out to the club. I think literally one time, one or two times. Doesn't see her for like 5 years. Bumps into her. She's basically sucking dick for crack and shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, you've never read if you don't want to read the Malcolm X autobiography, which I believe everyone should read the Malcolm X autobiography. I should have the copy somewhere, but I haven't read it in like 2 years. But I read it twice in my life. And if you don't want to read it, watch the movie. It's with Denzel Washington as Malcolm X. Good one.
Autobiographies are vastly underrated.
Yeah. So. Yeah, no, autobiographies are always great, and it's written by Alex Haley, the writer of Roots. No.
No.
You're an uncultured fuck. What did I just walk into? Alrighty. All right, so let's get right into it.
Oh my god, dude.
What?
So I'm on email real quick, and I see all this shit about Maryland, and I'm like, dude, this doesn't make. I see like there's like a status.
You're on my email.
Like,
You're on my email.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? That I see this. Yeah.
You're on my like spirit email. I don't even use that email. It's like my junk email that I just send shit to.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't get approved or denied for my lease yet, which I had.
All right. So Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, Will Barton, Kyle Kuzma, Monte Morris, and arguably DeLon Wright, Denny Abdia, Johnny Davis, and Corey Kispert and Daniel Gafford are all untouchable. But in my opinion, that leaves Rui Hachimura, Anthony Gill, Vernon Carey, Joel Yaya is not on the team, Isaiah Todd, as guys who are expendable. I personally think they should look. I think Denny Abdia and Corey Kispert have replaced Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura is more of a backup. I think let's try to find a trade for Rui. Package. If they don't want to use any picks, package Isaiah Todd and be like, yo, Isaiah Todd is the equivalent to a first-round pick. And then offer also Vernon Carey for salary. So, I don't know. What do you think? Well, who would you even go after? I don't even know who they could go after. Obviously, a Colin Sexton trade would be cool, and to make that work, I think honestly, if they package Rui Hachimura and Isaiah Todd, they would just be enough.
Yeah, I think the issue I have, like, I mean, Rui. I know we were talking a couple like last week about Rui to the Rockets. I'm not interested anymore.
Why is
Rui's
that?
now Rui is not even worth it for Jae'Sean Tate. It's just Jae'Sean's better. Even if he can't shoot. My issue with the Wizards is like I'll look at the Wizards, I'll be like, yeah. First off, you have a really talented team. We've talked about that, but if I want to keep ideally Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, and Kristaps together.
Mm-hmm.
What sucks is if there had to be an odd man out, it'd probably have to be Kuzma, right? It's not going to be Bradley Beal, and I don't think it'll be Kristaps, but maybe it would be because it's not like they're completely
sold on Kristaps because he doesn't only have a year left on his contract. Yes, I get what you're saying because you can get a bigger fish with either Kristaps or Kyle.
Because you're going to have to pay Kyle a fat bag.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is they'll run this season with Kristaps and Kyle and see who's better and then decide who they pay. Because, like, look, they both have player options after this season. So I think this year is they're going to be like, all right, Kristaps and Kyle, whoever does the best, whoever looks like the best running mate for Bradley Beal is going to get the bag. So let the best man win, you know?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at trades and it's like, you know, Siakam, I don't think he's touchable. Donovan Mitchell.
I think you have to trade for a guy. Like, you either have to trade for a guy like Jay Crowder or Royce O'Neal, because think about it, 6.2 plus 1.5. That's going to give you 7.8. So if we go over here to like player salaries, who is making about $7.8 million in the NBA right now that they could trade for? Okay, so they could go for, you know, Seth Curry, Grayson Allen, who's making like a little bit over $8 million. Okay, they could go after Zach Collins, who's making 7.3. Torian Prince 7.2. Again, these guys aren't really moving the needles, but they would help the team. Jayshawn Tate again making $7 million. Okay, Jackson Hayes.
I'd just rather do like DeLon Wright and Will Barton and a first round pick for OG Anunoby.
Oh yeah, but that trade would not be able to happen until the trade deadline. I'm talking about a trade that they could feasibly do before the season even started. Like I would call up the listen to this. Would you call up the Utah Jazz and ask for like Rudy Gay and Jared Butler maybe for Rui Hachimura and Isaiah Todd?
Yeah.
Because Jared Butler was supposed to go in the first round, but he fell to the second because of a heart issue that was misdiagnosed, I believe. Or would you give up Kelly and Hayes and maybe Corey Joseph? Oh, wait, I don't think that's enough money. I don't think they want Kelly and Hayes. Or look at this, PJ Washington. Give me PJ Washington and maybe, Nick Richards, and I'll send you Isaiah Todd and Rui Hachimura. But then that's 2 expiring contracts.
It seems like it's going to have to be Rui, and it might honestly only have to be Roy and like maybe a first.
I just thought they
John Collins and a first for John Collins for Kuzma and a first, or Kuzma and Rui. I think that's horrible.
Or even go out and try to get like Josh Richardson for Rui.
Yeah, I like that a lot more. I just saw one too of Kobe White, but I don't think either teams are really worried about that.
They got Monte Morris. I actually kind of like that Josh Richardson because he would be like a really good 3-and-D backup shooting guard for them. Or go out and get like TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I don't think they need any more bigs. I think they're good with Kristaps and Daniel Gafford, and then they have Taj Gibson and Vernon Carey as their other bigs. You know who's another good guy? I doubt it. I doubt this would happen. We've talked about Colin Sexton, but there's another guy on the Cavaliers. Again, I doubt this would happen, but he just would be so perfect for this team as Denny Avdia, Corey Kispert, and him would make the perfect trio of wings. Jetty Osman. I feel like you would have like the perfect Corey Kispert 3-point guy. Denny Avdia, a guy who can do a little bit everything, and then Jetty Osman's the guy who's in between Corey Kispert and Denny Avdia.
Jetty is a good low-key dude for a lot of teams.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, okay, let's give our...
So, yeah, at the end, I don't want them to do anything until we're a couple months into the season.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to go with the assumption that unless they make a trade for, like, Colin Sexton, like a sign-in trade, I don't see them making any trades before the season. I could see them making a trade for the deadline if one of the players they acquired, like Spencer Dinwiddie last year, doesn't work out and they have to trade him. Or they decide that Kristaps Porzingis or Kyle Kuzma isn't working out and they package one of those said guys for another guy who's on the market. What's your take?
Word.
Okay. So for sure. Let's go over and let's talk Atlanta Hawks. You cool with that?
I guess so.
Okay, fuck you. Alrighty. Let's zoom in.
All right. Now for the ladies.
My friend's dad in high school, because of my hair, he used to say I look like O'Banion.
O'Banion?
From Ben Affleck and Dazed and Confused. O'Banion. Like, right? He used to always.
That guy's a motherfucker in that movie.
Yeah, he always goes. He's like, "What's up, O'Banion?" I'm like, literally every time I'd come over, he'd be like, "What's up, O'Banion?"
That's funny. Yeah, this guy's a real fucking dickhead. I
He's
love doing
always
that.
he's always like what's up, O'Banion? He's like, you gonna go spank some people? You never been paddled?
No.
Nor have I.
I'm a fucking person.
Yeah, nor have I.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not that bad. We actually chased each other. It's one time we were really drunk during Christmas break, and we all had our paddles because, like, you're gifted one. I have mine somewhere, but I have a paddle somewhere around here. But we were like all joking around, drunk as shit, chasing each other with paddles, trying to like beat each other with our paddles. Like this was all like actual like just brothers, like just drunk as shit. Like we all whipped out our paddles and we were just chasing each other around the house, trying to see if anyone left their ass unguarded. That sounded gay.
That sounded very gay.
Yes, that sounded so gay. That looks like I was trying to get some booty holes. This isn't prison. Okay. So the starting lineup is, I agree with Aaron, and he said it really good right here. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. I think we can move on that John Collins is not being traded. Also, what are your thoughts of DeJounte Murray as a shooting guard? Do you think we'll see a different style of player? Because last year he was averaging 18 and 7 and 7.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see how DeJounte Murray handles this upcoming season. Their offense will be nice, so I don't think he'll miss a step. But what did he average last year? Like 25, 8 and 8? I mean
21, 8 and 9.
21, 8 and 9. It's just crazy. I actually don't think we'll see a statistical drop off.
All right, so listen to this. After the All-Star break, for the last 16 games of the season, he averaged 25, 8.8, and 8.2. So I could see him averaging 25. I just think those assists will fall down to 5, and Trae Young will be the main. Like, I think DeJounte averages closer to 5 and 7 assists, while Trae Young averages like 25 and 10. But with DeJounte Murray, it will allow Trae Young to play more off-ball, a la Steph Curry, how Steph Curry sometimes runs around and gets in catch and shoot area like scenarios. So I could see Trae Young having a scoring, like the best score, like literally averaging like 33 points a game, because he'll have like 18, 21 points off of like 6 to 7 3-pointers he'll make a night.
Yeah. Trae.
Also, before you say anything, if you're enjoying the show, drop a subscribe on the channel. We're live daily, and be a friend and tell a friend. Shout out to all like 10 plus people watching.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, we have 14 people watching.
14 people are watching this right
We just
now?
fell to 11 as I said that, but
Real
we've
quick,
been
I'll
But what were you gonna say? I was just wanting to get that out of the way because we're hovering at 11 and 12 right now.
I'm curious. I don't think actually DeJounte's stats will drop. I don't think Trae's stats will drop. I think they'll be a really good regular season team. And I think a lot of this is going to come down to DeAndre Hunter and John Collins, really. I mean,
well,
my thoughts on John Collins.
I think this team needs to play their best players as much as possible. Their first 5 guys are great. Then you got to play Onyeka and Bogdan, okay? Right there, you already have a 7-man rotation that's good, okay? You only need 1 or 2 more players. So if you're playing Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella, Onyeka Okongwu, Bogdan, that's a great 7-man rotation. You throw in probably 8th guy off the bench, Justin Holiday. A 9th guy off the bench is either Aaron Holiday or Mo Harkless, in my opinion. Then everybody else in the name of Trent Forrest, Adrian Griffin, a.k.a. AJ Griffin, Sean D. Brown, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Martin, and Frank Kaminsky, you're not going to see them play much. I think they need to go 8 to 9 guys in their rotation, mainly play 7 guys. And when you look at this team, 7 guys deep, Bogdan is their sixth man. Onyeka Okongwu's their defensive menace off the bench, who will eventually replace Clint Capella, hopefully by next offseason. John Collins need to be utilized correctly because I love John Collins, and I think John Collins gets criminally misutilized. This John Collins and DeAndre Hunter and DeJounte Murray need to be used as three defensive, like Swiss Army knives, okay? You got DeJounte Murray attacking the best perimeter offensive player. You got John Collins pestering inside, who literally John Collins can switch and guard anybody. And same thing with DeAndre Hunter, except Hunter can't take centers like Collins can. Collins can guard guards and centers. And I think they need to use Collins, DeJounte Murray, and DeAndre Hunter to have a top 10 defense. That's what this team needs to do. They need to play defense, and they have three guys in Murray, Hunter, and Collins who are all defensive team member capable. And I think they need to really hedge and trap ball handlers at the perimeter, utilize Capella as the rim protector, then use Collins, Hunter, and Murray as your three perimeter defenders who are just pestering ball handlers to either get them to get sucked in by Capella and get Capella to block their shot or force them to take a bad three-point shot and drain the shot clock. Also, do you see this?
No.
Welcome to Wrexham. They gave Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElherry, the guy from Mac from Always Sunny. They bought the oldest soccer team in America, and I guess they gave them a TV show.
They bought the oldest team in soccer? Like, really?
Yeah, and in England.
What does that say? Ryan? Why did they spell the name wrong?
Because the club is called
Wrexham?
It's called Wrexham. So they bought the club called Wrexham AFC back in 2020, and now okay, I'm gonna watch this. It's a docu. So no, it comes out next week. And it's about how they learn. You remember, it's inspired. Did you ever watch Sutherland Till I Die?
Yeah.
And it's inspired by that. And it's during and since the tech takeover. And it's basically them learning how to run a soccer team. And since they've taken over the soccer team, the team has won games.
I would hope. I'll have to figure out more because so confused, but I love Rob McElherry's name.
So back to the Hawks. I want to answer this question. So easy MB. So DeJounte Murray, you have to understand is DeJounte Murray fell in the draft. This is according to so DeJounte Murray was supposed to be a lottery pick, and DeJounte Murray was supposedly a juvenile delinquent when he was a very young teen, and he left that behind and became a basketball player, but supposedly his past followed him, and he's always kind of had a hothead attitude. And from what I've heard from Spurs fans, he kind of wasn't very much Spurs way, and this is something we talked about on this show. And I think DeJounte, like Aaron just said, he has a chip on his shoulder, but it's a lot bigger. It's kind of like, how Baker Mayfield comes off cocky. I think DeJounte Murray comes off the same way, but more egotistical. And I think now that he's in Atlanta, you have to understand how big of a different TV market. I think Atlanta is like the 5th or 6th biggest TV market in America, while San Antonio is probably closer to 30. So you have to understand there are 10 times the amount of eyes on DeJounte Murray now than there used to be in San Antonio. So I believe this is probably the stuff that Spurs fans were saying. He isn't very Spurs way, because I never paid attention to DeJounte Murray's social media or what he was doing. But supposedly this is somewhat of a regular occurrence for Spurs fans. What he's done, it's just now more noticeable because he's on the Atlanta Hawks, which is a very bigger media team, like media presence. But to go back, yeah. Do you agree with this, with Aaron? Because this was a team that's already top 15, top 10 offensively on paper, literally last year. If this team is top 10, even top 15 defensively, do you agree that they're a top 5 seed in the conference?
Yeah, I think they'll be top 5 with or without it. I think they'll be a top 15 defense. You have enough there, DJ, Hunter, Collins, Capella. My issue really comes down to John Collins. Unfortunately, Aaron, here's what I think is going to happen to the Atlanta Hawks. I think you're going to get off to a phenomenal start, and I think you're going to run the Eastern Conference for the first half of the season. And then I think players like John Collins are going to start to become more liabilities, and Clint Capella.
Why?
Because John Collins sucks at basketball. So
Oh
when
my
people realize
God.
John Collins sucks and they give him the ball more and they attack him more, and he's not going to know what to do because he needs Trae Young to lob it up for him to score every bucket.
He now has two guys to create for him.
He needs Capella there to help cover up his D. I think that Atlanta is going to have a shaky second half, but not enough to lose home field, not enough to cause panic or anything like that. But I think they'll go into the playoffs as a 2 or 3 seed, and I think they'll probably get past first round, maybe even make the Eastern Conference Finals, and then I think the Eastern Conference Finals is their ceiling, but I could see them getting to. If I had to make a prediction, I think they'll lose in the second round to Milwaukee, but it could go vice versa. I think they're going to need a little bit more on the bench. I like Aaron Holiday. I like Justin Holiday, but let's be real. Bogdanovich is nice for sure defensively. Mo Harkless, come on, let's be real. Okagu, great player. AJ Griffin, pretty hopeful for him, but he's still risky. Jalen Johnson's a little too young. And, imagine this team had a Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris gives way too much disrespect. If they have Tobias Harris, I think.
See, this is where I think their Tobias Harris is bogged on, because Tobias Harris would just be their sick man. Either way, John Collins, you're disrespecting. I think John Collins is way better than Tobias Harris. John Collins 2 seasons ago was averaging 21.6. Last year was averaging 17.6. People forget this past season. Dude, this past season, really in the past 3 years, John Collins hasn't been healthy. He's played what? He could have played a potentially, 82 this year, 72 the year before, and I don't even know what you could have played in 2019. But he hasn't played a full season basically his whole entire career. But this guy has become a phenomenal three-point shooter after never attempting a three-point shot at Wake Forest. John Collins, again, I've said this before after a conversation with Kevin Schoenhardt, where he convinced me that if John Collins played in Kevin Garnett era, John Collins would be, a max contract player, a guy that would be heralded. Yes, I know he's not the best at creating his own shot, but he's a guy that could play, honestly, power forward, center. He's versatile enough to he's probably one of the most athletic power forwards in the entire goddamn league. He's a guy who averages, who can average. We need him to average 7 rebounds a night, and a block a game, and a steal a game. We need him to be the team Swiss Army knife. Okay. I need DeAndre Hunter to be the 3-and-D guy. We need John Collins to be that Swiss Army knife who does a little bit of everything, to be the Grant Williams, the Robert Williams of this team. Okay. To be the, if you want to compare it to, I guess, another team, I don't even know. Kind of like combined, John Collins has the possibility of being a better shooter than Anthony Davis while having the defensive impact of Bam Adebayo. You're against me? You're against me, aren't you?
Yeah. I really like what Easy's preaching to the choir here.
Oh, you're over here saying that he despite being more athletic, that I agree that he does. He has this past season, I think people have hated him. Yeah, look, he scores way better than Bam. Okay, yes, you got a shot create. Okay, I agree that he's like Aaron Gordon, that he has no shot creation. Okay, I think John Collins is a better Aaron Gordon, and this team needs to use him how Aaron Gordon is utilized for the Denver Nuggets. Sup, Charlie? And I think John Collins can be just as good as a defender as Bam Adebayo, being able to guard similar to Bam Adebayo and Evan Mobley, where they can switch onto guards. John Collins needs to be utilized how Aaron Gordon is utilized on the Denver Nuggets, where you create for him, you put him in situations where he's slashing to the basket, lob threat, and you also get him to be a catch and shoot guy in the corner or at the top of the key, and you tell him to never stop moving on offense, always be in motion, be setting picks, literally be the Swiss Army knife for this team. I don't know if you agree with this, if this is the right way, but if you look at Aaron Gordon's stats, he had a career year this past year, averaging 15 points a night, 33.5% from three, which isn't good compared to John Collins, who's like a 39% three-point shooter, 52% from the field, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and basically 0.6 steals and 0.6 blocks. But like, I think if you look at it, I think the way Aaron Gordon is used is how John Collins should be used. And
yes, but if I have Aaron Gordon, I save 5-6 million annually, 20 to 30 over the course of a contract. And I get significantly better defense and a guy who can still shoot. I think that
John Collins is a better shooter than Aaron Gordon.
I think that John Collins is. I think if he didn't have Trae Young to come out of his career, he'd be not worthless, but I think he'd be on a more Aaron Gordon contract. I think John Collins can. Yeah, cool. He can shoot 35% from downtown. Congratulations. He needs it on a spoon. And my issue is long term. Like, John Collins is getting 25 mil for the next 4 years to get spoon fed points and plays subpar defense. I just think there's better options out there. I'd rather get rid of Clint Capella, get like Julius Randle, get like Miles Turner over. Like, I'd do a complete rehaul of their big men, and I know no Hawks fan wants to hear that, and I know you don't want to hear that either. I'm very anti John Collins. I don't think he can come through for him when he needs him to come through. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I just haven't fallen in love with John Collins.
Hey, look, so I think John Collins is a result of you remember when Tristan Thompson got what? 5
TT?
years? Yeah, we remember when he got that after they won the championship and Rich Paul got him that like 5-year, $84 million contract, which was like an overpay for Yeah, LeBron got him paid. I think the same thing happened with John Collins. I think John Collins should be paid in between what he's paid now and what Aaron Gordon is. He should be paid closer to like 18 or 20, but because they made it to the Eastern Conference final, and this is why I think they traded Kevin, and this is why they traded Kevin Huerter, in my opinion. They realized, shit, we gave Kevin Huerter a bad contract. We overpaid him. And like, we got to move him. We got to move him. So that's what they did. They realized, fuck, we overpaid Kevin Huerter. You're a great player, but you should be getting paid more like Luke Kennard. And then with John Collins, they're like, we did overpay you, but it's not by much, but it is an overpay where like, that's why we saw all these trade rumors. They're like, is there room for growth in John Collins? Which I do believe, there is room. He has a 7-foot wingspan. He's only 24 years old. And like, he's literally progressed very well every single season. But I agree with the fact that John Collins, yes, I get what you're saying. Like, if they could get, trade John Collins for Aaron Gordon and, hypothetically somebody else on that roster, that would be awesome. They would probably do that because they would be replacing John Collins with a very similar player who's, does the same things he does. But I think there's still room to grow for for John Collins. I think John Collins this season will be the make or break year for John, as I think John Collins needs to, the Miles Turner option isn't bad. I don't mind that. If you see it somehow to get Miles Turner and like TJ McConnell for John Collins, that's awesome. But I think, again, like John Collins, this is a make or break year. He needs to be utilized as, like I said before, catch and shoot threes at the top of the key or in the corner, have him constantly moving on offense, setting screens, slashing towards the basket. And I think, again, this is the last year for John Collins. I could see John Collins traded at the deadline, but I think they see John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, DeJounte Murray and Onyeka Okongwu, those 4 guys being their only way to getting to a top 15 defense, which is needed.
Yeah, we'll see. I just think it's going to come down to both. I think DeAndre is just as much of a critical log in the chain as John Collins. I think that DeAndre Hunter scored like 21 in the playoffs this year. I think he's the sleeper. I think he's a
The
guy who could turn into a Mikal Bridges,
who DeAndre
and
Hunter?
it'll look as if it appeared out of thin air. But
Well,
he's got to
people.
stay healthy.
Well, we've talked about this before. DeAndre Hunter was averaging 17 before he broke his wrist or something like that. He had to get wrist surgery, and
John
2 years
Collins for
ago.
Ben Simmons is blasphemous and disrespectful to Ben Simmons.
So in 18 games before he injured his wrist in the year that they went to the conference finals, in 18 games, DeAndre Hunter was shooting almost 5 3-pointers a game at 36.6%, 17.2 points, 1 steal night, half a block, 2.2 assists, 5.4 rebounds, and 51.4% from the field in 32 minutes a night. If we can see that DeAndre Hunter again, it's over.
Yeah,
It's over.
for a whole season.
For a whole season, yeah. That he did that for 18 games, then he hurt his wrist, and we've never seen that version of DeAndre Hunter ever again. But we just spent
We
like
saw it
20
in the
minutes.
playoffs last year.
We did see a little bit. We did see a
21
little.
points per game.
I did not know it was 21 points a game.
I mean, they only played 5, but yeah.
That again, 17, 21, whichever. Anything more than 17 will be good, and it should be efficient.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
know what
he-
should happen? Why would I ever trade a subpar power forward for a 3-time All-Star in 4 seasons who can give me a little bit of everything? I'm sorry, because I'm
except
trying.
Except shoot.
I've seen him make plenty of threes, but yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, I've seen him make plenty of threes on Twitter.
There's no way he's done it in game. I've never seen enough from John Collins anywhere close to being anywhere close to Ben Simmons.
Well,
Ben Simmons is. Let me just pull up Ben Simmons' allocates because they're nice. All right, 3-time All-Star, Steal Champ, All NBA, All Rookie of the Year, 2-time All Defensive, and how many years he's played? 4. Wow. So, yeah, we're all set with. I speak for Brooklyn here. We're all set. You can take your chump change or whatever you want to call John Collins.
You're funny.
But the Hawks are. This is the start. Right? This is the start. This isn't the end. They were ahead of schedule a couple of years ago, and I guess you could say they stalled, plateaued, or maybe took a step back, and they definitely got it back. Ben Simmons, in the last year of basketball he played, averaged 14.3. So, yeah.
It's not too bad. Okay, let's go.
I'm still very hopeful for Ben Simmons.
So am I.
You got a three-time All-Star by 24 in 4 seasons. Like,
How many points did Ben Simmons average
in his career?
No, last season.
Oh, 14.
He just got burned by Aaron.
How he didn't even play. 14.3 was the last time.
I know, but that's a joke. Good. Yeah, I agree with Aaron right here. Let's go.
And that's a good. Yeah, I like that take.
If the team isn't over 500, or if they are over 500 and JC is a detriment to the team, those are the 2 scenarios I see him. Now let's go over to the Bulls because we talked for like a while about the Hawks. Okay, so we know the starting lineup: Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Pat Williams, and Lonzo Ball if Lonzo's healthy. And then this team's actually really deep because then right there after that, you got off the bench probably Caruso, DeSumo, Drummond, Kobe, Javonte Green, Goran Dragic. Like this team's like 11 deep. I think the Chicago Bulls are underrated, but they didn't really get better at defense. Also, Justin Lewis tore his ACL. He's out for the season.
Yeah, that one was shitty.
Yeah, but he was a two-way guy. But it sucks because he could have developed into something like he could have been this year's Io DeSumo for y'all. We don't know now, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Iowa was not going to the second round if um, that wasn't as deep of a class, in my opinion. But someone will get traded soon. I think it'll be Kobe, but it might be Nikola. I want Nikola to work, but I also understand. That's why I'm really hopeful. I know we've talked about Patrick Williams a lot turning into like a 15 point per game scorer because if Patrick Williams turns into a 15 a game, sky's the limit for this team. But I have long term problems with like DeMar's not gonna have the same season. He might have a huge regression. Who knows? Um, I think he'll take some type of step back. Maybe it's not gonna be huge, but I think he'll take some type of step back. His defense is horrible. Zach Lavin's defense is horrible. Nikola Vucevic's defense is horrible.
Zach LaVine used to try on defense, though. Like, I think if you look back
Yeah,
when he
and
was.
he got a bad rep too because he'd have to guard for several seasons. He'd have to guard like with Boylan. He'd have to guard the opposing team's best player in the backcourt, and then he'd also have to like score 30 a night. So he was asked to do a lot for a long time. So yeah, I don't. He's not a complete bum on defense, but
Listen to
my
this.
point is the Bulls defensively are not great in any way, shape, or form. However, you do have guys like Alex Caruso. Lonzo Ball is a great defender. Hopefully, he can get healthy and stay healthy. But they have a lot of nice young like guys that a lot of people probably don't know, like DeSumo, Javante Green's little Swiss Army knife of his own. Derek Jones is solid. I think Drummond will be solid. Tony Bradley did all right for us.
Okay,
Kind of
listen to
surprised he's
this.
back.
In 2019 to 2020, in 60 games, Zach LaVine had 1.5 steals and a defensive rating, okay, of 110.4, which was only 1.4 worse than league average. So he was a league average defender
What year?
in 2019 to 2020, the year of the
Oh,
pandemic.
COVID.
Yeah, he averaged 1.5 steals a game, and he was at 110 defensive rating. League average is 109. So he was a league average defensive player.
Hmm.
So Zach LaVine, I love how Ricky Juice. It took me a while to get used to him saying how he says Zach LaVine, but yeah, no, I think defense is the whole thing. I think defense will be fine if Lonzo Ball is 100%. Are you questioning Lonzo's Ball's health? Like, is it a bone bruise or is it the meniscus? I don't even know what's going on there. He's not right.
Yeah, it was
They're
looking.
scared.
It was looking bad.
Do you
It
know
was
any
looking
more
real bad.
details?
Same with
What's
Kendrick
the?
Nunn.
Do you know any
I
details?
believe the rumor on the street is he'll be good to go at the start of the season, which it wasn't looking like
But
that
what's
at
going on?
a certain point in the summer. It's something with the knee. I don't know.
Like,
I
still,
don't think they even know. This is like the whole thing with Kendrick Nunn, where he's been cleared for he like just got cleared for contact like a year later, over a year later. Like he's not quite scrimmaging.
yeah, that's
It's
what
just
I've read.
like
Like, he hasn't played, basketball since he's got it. So isn't it the same injury that Kendrick Nunn had?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Kendrick Nunn, the whole Lakers Kendrick Nunn situation, still to me doesn't make sense. So
I want to see what was Kendrick Nunn's injury.
I think they have the same type.
Okay, so he was diagnosed with a bone bruise back in October, and
It's a
he missed
fag.
Yeah, what even is a bone? Like, obviously, I know what a bone bruise is, but like, why is it so detrimental to a player's knee? Okay,
Bruises, man, when you touch them, they hurt.
okay, so I don't even know what's going on with Lonzo's knee. I'm trying to find stuff on Lonzo's knee right now as we talk. So Alonzo, okay, 6 days. Wait, no, 2 hours ago. Here's the 2 hours ago. Lonzo Ball's camp confident point guard will return for injury for opener. So I talked to somebody in Lonzo's camp. They expressed confidence he'll be ready to go for the start of the season. But just me speculating, I could see them slow playing Lonzo a little bit to make sure he's 100% and really ready to go. Lonzo Ball suffered a meniscus tear, and his recovery had been mirrored in setbacks. After initially being expected to miss only 6 to 8 weeks, Ball missed the remainder of the season and remains at less than 100% nearly 6 months later.
Casey Jones reported in July that Ball still has discomfort in his knee when he ramps up in activity.
Yeah, I also talked to Ball's camp, and they told me the same thing. So
Yeah.
excellent.
So we assume a fully healthy team starting lineup is going to be Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Pat Williams, Nikola Vucevic with Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Goran Dragic, I guess Javonte Green, Derek Jones, and Andre Drummond off the bench. I mean, this team, 11 deep, is good if everyone's healthy. But I think if Lonzo's out, you got to throw in either Goran Dragic or Dosunmu or Kobe White into the starting lineup. And that's where I think the defense starts to take a hit. Like, I know Caruso or, Dosunmu can hold up defensively, but when they get subbed out, if Lonzo's not there, because Lonzo and Caruso and Dosunmu defensively, if they're all three healthy, hold your perimeters. Your no guard is going to be really scoring. And then if Pat Williams and even Dosunmu can guard some wings, you're good there, I believe, as long as those two guys are healthy. Even Javonte Green and Derek Jones Jr. can play some defense. And then with Drummond and, Tony Bradley, I think they're both good,
Yeah, I think Kobe will probably get traded.
I don't get why they don't.
Goran, I mean, he's a real Energizer bunny off the bench. So I think if Goran could kind of fill, if Goran comes out here and he's doing 13, 3, and 3, that's probably when you see Kobe get shipped off somewhere and you have a healthy Lonzo. Because then you have four guards you'd feel. Honestly, I'd throw LaVine. You have 5 guards you could play at point guard theoretically.
And Dalen Terry can play 1 through 3.
Yep, exactly. So Bulls top 8, maybe 6. Depends on the health. But
yeah, no, I agree. I think this team is definitely with Lonzo Ball being 100% healthy for the entirety of the season and him playing like his regular self, this is clearly, top 5 seed or 4 seed,
Yeah.
I just get the fear that this team I'm just scared about Lonzo Ball. And then what if DeMar or Zach LaVine gets hurt? There's no depth behind DeMar or Zach LaVine.
Yeah, they'd have to,
because they don't have a true backup shooting guard. One would go Kobe White could be that shooting guard, yes, but
he would be.
Trade him.
Yeah,
you agree? It would be Kobe White, would be Zach LaVine's backup. That's the only guy I could see that. Maybe Dosunmu, but Dosunmu doesn't score like that. Only Kobe White has the scoring ability if Zach LaVine got hurt. But what if DeMar got hurt? Are we expecting Derek Jones Jr. to come in with Pat Williams?
Yeah, they'd Caruso. They'd all probably. I got a call in a very short. I gotta go to the bathroom before.
You're good, bro. I got shit too. I've been farting. Okay, so top 5 seed.
Sure.
More. I'll talk to you tomorrow, bud. Peace.
See ya.
All right, guys. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for everyone to hang out. This was one of our most popular shows in a while. To let you guys know, starting next week, because my semester starts, we will be starting the show at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central, and that is 3 p.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. Mountain time. So just to let you guys know, we will be doing a different time as well. If you guys enjoyed today's show, be a friend and tell a friend. Let's grow this. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Go check us out on we're an internet show, but I upload all the shows onto, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, go check this out. Rate, review the show, do whatever. Let's grow this thing, guys. Let's grow it. It's going to get big. And I know it. But I love you guys. Bye.